Welcome back to the fourth edition of Friday Talk series. You are watching Honey of Knowledge, and this is Ashish Gaurav. Today, let me rewind and go back to my school days when I was not so good in maths. I remember the days when even calculating the LCM and HCF was quite a mess for me. And prime factorization, don't even get me started on that. It was so tough for me. And I still remember that division was a nightmare for me. I really did not understand how to divide numbers. I mean, I know 4 by 2 was easy, 9 by 3 was easy, but if you had asked me to divide 47 uh, by 9, I would have been in a very difficult situation. That was way back when I was a 9-year-old or a 10-year-old kid. I feared maths so much. Now, this is the part where things started to change. Somewhere, I was introduced to a senior of mine. He was a neighbor, and he taught me a bit of maths, one or two chapters, for a small school exam, a kind of mini exam. We used to call it weekly test or monthly test, something like that. I don't remember the name of that. So it was out of 25 marks, and I got 25 marks. That changed me. I mean, from a position in which I was about to fail in maths in every exam, I got full marks. Though that was not a full fledged exam, it was just a kind of mini exam with 25 marks in total. But I got full and I was elated. But I thought of it as more of a luck than any kind of knowledge I have gained. Then again, few exams went by and I performed very poorly. Then I was again introduced to a different teacher. Now, with the help of this teacher, I was a very different person. I used to love maths. I started to love maths so much that I started to do maths all the time. All the time. And that teacher, he was not a school teacher. He was essentially a private tuition teacher. He used to give us tests, and the questions which he used to set used to be of a very difficult nature. And I used to be one of the toppers in that. Nothing to brag about. I used to get something around 60 to 70 percentage. The question paper was so tough, and the second and third rank used to be 40%, 50%, and a lot of people used to get 10, 5. This gave me a huge amount of confidence. And then I started preparing for engineering entrances. Then I went to IIT. Then I came to ISI. And I cannot be so sure to say that I'm very good in maths. But what I can really say is I like maths, and a very particular kind of maths is my forte, the problem solving part of it. Uh, like most people, I also hate the theorem part of math, I mean, the proving part of math, because it gets really boring. You see that it is going to be true, and you even get the sketch of the proof in your mind. You have an intuitive idea, but putting that to a piece of paper in a systematic way is kind of a nerve wracking process, and you don't want to go through that process every time. And solve something and get to a number, that's the beauty of maths. I mean, if you give a lot of time to a problem and you finally get a result which you never expected, or you kind of wanted that exercise, but in a proof or a theorem, what happens is you know what is the end point. So it's like watching a movie uh, after knowing its climax. Though if the movie is interesting enough, you might watch it through even after knowing the climax. But if the movie is boring, you just might want to stop it altogether. And if you do not know the climax, the problem solving part of maths, then that gives you kind of a thrill. You give it good amount of time, 1 hour, 2 hour. I still know that solving math problems is so alluring to me that even these days, if I get hold of a problem, I try to give it some time. And yes, a lot of times I'm not able to solve the problems after giving 10-15 minutes. And then I stop solving them because I feel I don't need to solve them. I mean, I'm not going to give any exam or something. So if I don't get to a solution, I just stop solving it. I think that it's tough for me, it's not easy for me. So I take it with a good heart and move on. And this is more like watching a stand-up comedy act. Few people might watch a stand-up comedy act and have a good laugh. Similarly, I get attracted to math problems. It's like finding the angle in this triangle, or inside this circle I have this line, this tangent, this secant, or there's a square, you have a circle inside, you have a diagonal inside, and find the shaded area. I mean, things like that. I mean, geometry attracts me a lot, and calculus is one of the things which I am really attracted to, because it's kind of very spiritual if you look at that from a different perspective. I mean, if I had to single out one maths topic which is kind of very spiritual in nature, is calculus. I might at some point of time do a video on the spiritual aspect of calculus, and I really believe that the greatest gift to mankind by Newton was calculus, not gravitation. So I hope this is enough for this Friday talk. I have talked enough. So let's catch up some other time, and hit that red button to subscribe. Bye.